Here I've got my leads that are going to, they go up into the receiver, but they come out and they will plug into these two little Metal Gear micro servos that I set up. You'll see them, right? One here, another one over there. And I just kind of mounted those to a ply plate on the inside ring where I will, the mounting ring for the cowl that I shaped. You can see in there real quick, you can see I used some nyrod and some other nylon bushings to make a kind of a flex shaft that will rotate. I kind of got that off of from Evo. Thanks, man. That was a good idea. I didn't use the throttle cable like he did, where you solder onto that. I was being lazy, so I just tried the nyrod with epoxy and CA, and it seems to be holding pretty good, but we'll see how it holds up to vibration later on. Now, here I'll make it operational for you so you can see how it works. I'm pretty happy with it. Maybe in the future, perhaps I might try a flex cable or something like that, but we'll see how this holds up. But you can see how it'll open up and close. I've got this set so that when the throttle is all the way back at idle, they open. And then as the RPM comes up, the throttle comes up, they will actually close. Now originally I just wanted this on a slider so I could just operate it open and closed independently, but to be quite honest, I ran out of channels on my transmitter. So I had to make a channel so I could have the CDI and all the other functions that I wanted with the separate tail wheel steering. So I set it up on the throttle for the time being, unless I go to an S-bus system or something where I can free up some more channels. Also, one thing to note over here, on the real Focke-Wulf, for some reason over on the starboard side, one of those cowl flaps was fixed, and I think it was because they didn't want it to interfere with the airflow going into the supercharger intake, so it was always fixed and flush, although I've seen some others where it was actually open, so I'm not sure if it was something that they could link up and unlink, but a lot of original documentation, full-size pictures show that one closed to the fuselage while everything else is open, so I decided to go ahead and replicate that as well. Not sure if it's necessary. I believe on the D13 and above series, they all worked, so I guess they figured out they didn't need it later on. But anyway, just a little added extra that I put to it. So anyway, you can see it again as it opens up. Seems to work pretty happy. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll mount it to the cowl, or to the rest of the fuselage here, and then I'll show what it looks like when it's actually mounted on onto the aircraft, and you can take a look at it then. Thanks. And here it is with the spinner in place. You can see how the engine sticks out of the head a little bit. And the cowl flaps. And I'll go ahead and work the throttle. Right now it's pretty much back to idle. And as it comes up on the throttle, when I'm about, that's about halfway, so that's about where they'll pretty much close at about half throttle where I'll be flying around. Then as I pull back towards idle, they open up. You can see how they work. Now there are other methods of doing the cowl flaps. A lot of guys like the ring method, where you have a continuous loop that goes around on the inside. It's definitely probably easier, and you can control them all a little better that way. However, it wouldn't really work for this application that I had going on here, because I'd have to mount the servos up at the top, up in this area probably, with the loop going around, but with the engine sticking out there, I'd have a real hard time getting everything around and make a continuous loop, plus along with the fixed cowl flap over here, that would make it kind of difficult as well. There's too many different parts moving and not moving. So here it is with the, you can see this side, how it'll look. So you can see how that's stationary as they open up. You can see I got a hole there so I can adjust my carburetor. And what it looks like. Apologize for the less than stellar video, but you can see what it looks like on the starboard side. Anyway, there you have it. That's what it looks like. Works pretty easy. Hopefully it'll hold up to all the vibration of the engine. Time will tell, and then I'll let you know on my thread, my build thread on RCSB if you want to follow along.